let's go back to football. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs beat the Texans 27-19 this weekend. Mahomes accounted for 260 yards, a 15-yard rushing TD, silencing any worries about that high ankle sprain that he suffered back in Week 15. Now, the Chiefs can clinch the #1 seed and home field advantage in the AFC with a win over the Steelers on Christmas Day or a Bills loss to the Jets on Sunday. Shannon, I'll go back to you here. This question, are the Chiefs the scariest team in the AFC? I mean, this question.
For one reason, yes, 15. You do not want to get into a one-score game because they don't lose those guys. And then with 15 has the ball. He, over the last 25 years, the only person you potentially feared more with the ball in his hand is 112, and he's been retired for 3 years. Other than that, it's not even close. And what he's able to do, and I'm like, bro, he got a high ankle sprain. We were talking about it all last week, Stephen A. I think you rest him this game, you rest him a couple of games, and maybe people were talking about resting for the entirety of the playoffs. I couldn't tell he had a high ankle sprain. How you got a high ankle sprain and he runs 15 yards for a touchdown? How he's doing, maneuvering what he's doing, throwing on the move. Guys, every time I say Kansas City can't, Patrick Mahomes says we can. Yes, they are the scariest team because they've been there and they've done that. They've taken their show on the road. They've gone and won championships through Arrowhead. It does not matter. They believe as long as 15 is taking that snap from center, they absolutely have a chance to get back in three-peat. Yes, they're the scariest team. Yeah, Baltimore has those weapons. We know what Josh Allen is doing. But in a winner-take-all, you picking either one of those guys over my homeboy? I don't think so.
Shannon, if you're talking about Mahomes specifically, there's no one scarier than him. I'll stand down. If we're doing, if we're looking at something collectively, and I understand who Mahomes is, and we know how phenomenal and great he is, I gotta tell you something. You know what scares me, Shannon? Those Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Those brothers. Right. Now, again, you got to look at Cincinnati's defense and ask yourself what they're going to do. But I'm just talking about offensively. I'm just talking offensively in terms of a team that can scare the living hell out of you because of what they can do with their aerial assault. I look at the Cincinnati Bengals. Jamar Chase, I hope he's watching. I want Jamar Chase. I've never had the pleasure of meeting this brother. Jamar Chase is a superstar receiver in this game. I think it's a travesty that he had to take out a $50 million insurance policy just to make sure he could play this season and get paid. This brother is electrifying. He is one of the best in the business. Shannon, bad news for you. Damn it, so is Joe Burrow. This brother's something special, Shannon. I know he's made some mistakes with it. Just Joe Burrow's something special. And T. Higgins. My hope, my quiet hope is that he leaves Cincinnati this year and he goes and joins Pickens in Pittsburgh and goes to the Steelers. The Steelers need the Steelers need 2 receivers, not just 1, okay? No disrespect to Austin or anybody else or Jefferson, but I'd love to see T. Higgins in the Steelers uniform. But this brother, Jamar Chase, with Joe Burrow throwing him the football, when we use the word scary, we all have to stand down to Mahomes, you're my homeboy. But when I think about something other than a quarterback, and I think about collectively, offensively, in terms of your explosion, Cincinnati's it for me. Cincinnati's it for me. They're scary.
Of course it's Cincinnati. Because we know the quarterback can beat the quarterback. We've watched the quarterback do it. Now, they need help. Yes, the Chiefs, you got to go through the Chiefs. They're going to be at home. I think it's interesting that we're not talking about Buffalo. Buffalo's the only team that has actually beat Kansas City. But scariest, yes, because there's house money on the table in many ways. Like now, Cincinnati's got to beat Denver this weekend, and then they're going to have to beat Pittsburgh the following weekend, and they got to find a way for Denver to lose to Kansas City. The Colts have to lose once, and Miami has to lose once. So there's a lot that needs to get done. But the fact that they're in this conversation, and Shannon, I'll say this, Stephen A., I'll say this. If they get in, he's the one guy that I think cracks the door open for a different MVP other than Josh Allen for me.